Hello, cruisers. This is Rick Wade, the Texas Cruiser. We've got a lot going on in the cruise industry, folks, and I want to talk about it. The Carnival Corporation has talked about building another cruise ship possibly in the year 2028. They already have one coming out in 2027 and XL class, and they have another XL class coming out in the year 2028. Now, the CEO, Josh Weinstein of Carnival, he said that possibly going to have another one come out in 2028. He's doing a lot of ham-hawing around and all that, but the CEOs don't usually hint at something without some meat behind it. And I have a feeling that there's probably going to be another ship coming out. Don't know if it's going to be an XL class or a new class of ship, new large ship, or possibly a mid-range ship. I know they're going to start needing some mid-range ships, some smaller ships come out to be built. A lot of their the smaller ships are getting really, really old and long in the tooth and wore out. Royal Caribbean the same way. So Royal Caribbean's kind of been up front with it, with possibly what they call the Discovery class. That's their secret class of ships that come out with kind of a poorly kept secret, but these cruise lines going to have to come out with some new ships here before long, and that's not so much the mega ships. The mega ships are making a lot of money. Carnival, for a while there, everybody knows, said they're not going to build any more ships because they want to pay off what happened during COVID. They still have a lot of debt there. But they've shown some record profits, same as Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line, the other cruise lines and all reporting record capacities on their ships and profits. So they're not hurting, and they're able to start paying off these debts. Yeah, these substantial debts, but they're paying them off from what happened during COVID, the 16, 18 months of shutdown. That's no industry could overcome something like that, but I believe the cruise industry is showing how to do it. And my hats off to the cruise industry for surviving all that. And so it's going to be fun to see what's going to happen over the next 5 years. What kind of new ships come out. The ships that have come out, like the Jubilee out of Galveston here, it's a phenomenal ship. I am planning to book a passage on her in January 11th of next year, excuse me, just to because I heard so much about her, and I know I'm going to love it and enjoy the cruise on her. Royal Caribbean is going to have some new ships. Harmony's coming out of Galveston right now, and in a couple of years, Allure's going to come back after her Royal Caribbean calls the Amping program. It's going to be neat to see her. I will book a passage on Allure when she comes back. We have a cruise on Allure October 6th for my wife's birthday cruise. I'm looking forward to celebrating that on board. Donna's never had a birthday cruise, but we'll have one with her this year. But this industry is going to be coming in through a renaissance here soon with some new. Like I said, all these smaller ships are getting wore out. They're getting, they only have a shelf life of so many years, and they're in the 30-year range now, and so they get coming up on the 30-year range. So they need to be on the at least some discussions in the boardrooms across the cruise industry of what to do next, and they're coming, and it's going to be interesting to see. Using some of the new thoughts and ideas that came from the Oasis class and the Icons and all that, see how they work on a smaller ship, smaller scale. So that's going to be interesting to see how they translate that. So anyway, the Baltimore situation, it's such a sad situation. The Coast Guard and they have opened up some channels to where they can get not for cargo ships or passenger ships or anything like that, but for the rescue vessels, for the salvage vessels, they need to get in there and start salvaging these the bridge and stuff out of there, so they get them out of the way so they can rebuild everything. It's going to take a while, and I understand they're having to bring in some experts on these companies that know how to dismantle this. They said some of that stuff is such twisted, and the bridge is all twisted up, and it could act like a spring. When you cut it, it's going, stuff's going to happen, start flying around. So there's a certain way they got to cut it up, and remove it. And I know we still have 4 lost souls under the water somewhere, and I know that they're painstakingly dismantling stuff so they can get to their bodies and get them out there and to their families. And my heart and prayers to those folks. So anyway, Carnival is moving the Legend to Norfolk. Also, Royal Caribbean is moving Vision of the Seas to Norfolk temporarily. Of course, they were out on cruises out of Baltimore, and when they get to Norfolk, they're going to have to bus the people to Baltimore so that people can get their vehicles that are at the port facilities there. It's a wild, unusual situation. I know Norfolk's going to do a phenomenal job taking care of these ships and these people coming off there, and getting set up, get into motion to handle these cruises until Baltimore reopens. And so it's going to be good for them. It's going to be okay. Norfolk's going to step up. I know they're going to step up and take care of these ships and these people. The Royal Caribbean Brilliance of the Seas is having some propulsion issues. Like I said, these ships, they're getting older. They need to get in the shipyard a little more often, and so they had to cancel some cruises until she gets in there and gets some work done on their engines and isopods. I don't know if it's the pods or if the engines. They know what the problem is, and they'll take care of that. So it's going to be they're going to. Carnival's had a few ships with propulsion issues. Royal Caribbean started to see a few of them start happening there. So it's you start to see more and more ships heading to the shipyards. Hopefully they'll schedule them in there if I had to cancel cruises. But right now they're having to cancel a few cruises and screw up people's vacations. And I know how I am when I book a cruise. I get so wound up, so excited to get on board the ship, but this stuff happens, and I know the cruise lines, they take good care of the people and get them rescheduled and on other ships, possibly down the road. They're going to have to sell another time. I know it would drive me nuts to have to do that, because when I book a cruise, I'm ready to go on that cruise. I'm like a kid at Christmas. I get a little impatient about it. So anyway, a strange situation happens on a cruise, and this is a South African cruise, and that's the Norwegian Dawn is the name of the ship. And they had a situation where some people, eight people, went on an excursion that was not a cruise line supported or advertised excursion. They did a private excursion, and they went off to some little island offshore there. A little bit of a lengthy of a excursion, and they know that as it went along that it was getting longer and longer. I know they mentioned something to the tour guide, say, hey, we may need to start heading back so we can get back on board ship. And the tour guide said, oh, we got it covered. I think I'm such a stickler on this, I would probably put my foot down and say, no, you need to take me back now. I don't know about the rest of these folks, but you need to get me back to that ship. I do not mess around boarding times on ships. We tend to get back like a couple hours before boarding time, because things just happen. Things just do happen. And we'd hardly ever use private tours. We always tend to buy the tour packages offered through the cruise ship. I like that insurance policy. I like that insurance of if something happens, we can't get back in town, the ship's going to wait for us because we are on a ship-sponsored, cruise line-sponsored tour. I know it's a little more expensive, folks, but I like that insurance is a little more expensive. So I'm sorry, I'm just not going. I'm just not interested in doing anything beyond that. But we've done a lot. Like I said, I've been cruising for 35 years. There's a lot of stuff we've done already. Some ports we go to, we get off and just shops and all that around the port area, get back on board. Honduras, Roatan, Fox, whatever they call that port, for Royal Caribbean goes to. I always like to just go off board shore, buy some rum, and bring it back on board the ship, and then spend the day on board the ship. I'm just not interested in doing all the other stuff that they do there at Roatan. I know that they got some great excursions there and all, but my wife and I, we've done so much of that stuff, and we're just not interested anymore. But we do love cruising on our ships. We mainly cruise for the ships nowadays, and so. But I know Rotan's doing some really major overhauls there at port. I have posted some on my Facebook, Texas Cruiser Facebook page. You can see that and see what's going on. There's some videos and stuff. And soon in October, I will be there, and I'll take some videos on myself there. I know over the years we've every time we go to Roatan, we see more stuff done. It's fun watching it develop. I don't know if you guys ever been to Falmouth in Jamaica. We have been there several times, and we enjoy that port area there with all the shops and Margaritaville restaurant, stuff like that. I've done a lot of shopping there and bought some few things there, and I believe that Rotan's going to be, it's not going to look like it, but it's going to be a whole lot like it for what's available there. The bars, I love to go to the bars there, get some drinks there, buy some bottles of alcohol like rum there in Roatan. I'll probably continue buying more rum there at Roatan and bring it back home. And but folks, it's when they say get back on board at a certain time, that's law, folks. That's set in stone. A few times that they've taken some people on past that, but those are rare. I'm one of them. I like to watch the pier runners and see people try to make it back to the ship and run back to the ship. I'm too old to run, folks. So I'm gonna be the one on the balcony or up on the pool deck area watching the pier runners. So don't mess around with it. Give yourself time. Things happen on shore. They have wrecks on board on shore. Stuff breaks down. Give yourself plenty of time to get back on board. Please, or else just do what I say. Book the cruise line tours because they'll wait for you there. It's serious. People have been left behind, and in South Africa, they got a real serious situation where 8 people didn't make it back on time. The ship is one of those tender situations. Ship anchors offshore, and the tenders come off. Well, the tenders were all finished. If there were local tenders there, went back to shore and they were done for the day. Or if they were ship tenders, or probably the combination thereof, the ship tenders were already pulled back aboard the ship. These people thought about they get on Coast Guard ship, boat, and run out there and they drop back all the ship. But ship is already situated to where they're leaving port, and these people are way past the time of arrival, of boarding time, and the captain didn't let them back on board. They've already delivered their passports to the harbor master, and the harbor master had their passport for them, and the ship left. And those people I think they had to go through a long, lengthy travel, like 15 hours of travel to make it to the next port. It's like a 21 some odd day cruise with multiple stops. So they went to the next stop. I saw though on the news where a couple of them were all bowled up and said that they're not going to they're not happy about what happened and all that. And so I'm sorry, folks. The rules are rules, and some, unfortunately, for you guys, this set in stone pretty much. And the captain said no. You can get back on board a ship at the next port during boarding times and all that. But to get all upset and said, I just get your feelings hurt and all that. I'm sorry. It's just that's the way it is. All cruise lines are like that, folks. They're all like that, and you got to take that boarding time seriously. I double, triple check to make sure when I get off that what time I had with me, or watch, phone, whatever, matches up with the ship's. So that's my advice of the day for that. Anyway, I'm going to get on here pretty quick here, probably this evening, start working on it about muster drills and how the muster drills over the years. Like I said, I've been cruising for 35 years. The muster drills we did back in 1988 when I first cruised to today is night and day difference, folks. And believe it or not, people complain about them today. I said, man, if you just done what I had to do, you'd be kissing the crew to say thank you for this new style of muster drills, because it's got to be done. It's not the ships so much, it's the Coast Guard, it's the governments that these ships go through, that we got to do muster drills, folks. And people just try to hide out at a bar somewhere or something like that, and say, I ain't doing that. So, folks, it needs to be done. It's a safety deal. You don't fly without having to sit through the little seat belt thing and all that on the ship, on the airplanes. It's just part of the process, guys. And so I'm going to write about that this evening and have a little humorous look at it and talk about my experiences over the years. And it's something that be talked about, and hopefully people understand that the muster drills today is nothing to it. It's all digital, done on your phone or through the apps and stuff, and it's so much easier today to do a muster drill than what we used to have to go through. And we had to go through some muster drills in the past. So anyway, folks, I hope you're having a great evening. Hope y'all have some great cruises lined up, and I want to hear about them. I'm on the Facebook, the Texas Cruiser Facebook page, and I love to hear your stories, see your pictures. I'm a big fan. My wife said you're a fanatic about cruises. He said, you better believe I'm a fanatic about cruises. So anyway, please keep in touch with me if you have some great cruise topics. I love to hear about it. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about anything, folks. So anyway, you guys have a great week, great evening, great month, great year. And hope you have some great cruises coming up, and I hope to catch you on a cruise. You have a great evening. Good night.